Shalom Aleichem, Mishpachim. It is nighttime, and I am going to read. We are in the 9th meditation of Rabbi Nachman's Outpouring of the Soul. All right, let us begin. The 9th meditation, and the title of this meditation is The Midnight Prayer. All right, Tikkun Chatzot. All right, in the midnight prayer, Tikkun Chatzot, one can express everything in his heart, just as he does in meditation. Although the midnight prayer speaks of the destruction of the Holy Temple, it is not speaking only of the past. The main reason for saying the midnight prayer is because of what is currently happening. Therefore, when a person says the midnight prayer, he can find everything in his heart in the words. The same is true when one recites the Psalms. Here, too, one must see himself in each psalm. This is also true of other standard prayers and supplications that he may say. Very easily, without any forced interpretation, a person can find himself in the simple meaning of all prayers and supplications. This is especially true of the Psalms, which were said for all Israel, and include each individual. No matter what battles a person may have with his personal urges, they are all expressed in the Psalms. Although the Psalms appear to be speaking of mundane wars, the entire book is speaking primarily about the war with the evil urge, the Yetzer Hara, and its armies. These are a person's true enemies, and they can keep him from the path of life and bring him down to the deepest pit if he is not careful to avoid them. It is regarding this war that the book of Psalms was written. Therefore, the primary way to come close to God is only through reciting the Psalms and other prayers, and through meditation and expressing one's thoughts before God. One must beg God to draw him close. The only way he can win this war is if he is strong and brave, constantly praying to God no matter what happens. He will then certainly win the great battle. Happy is he. From the words of the Rebbe, we understood that although many paths to God are discussed in his works, most of them are very difficult to follow. Therefore, the main path for each person is prayer. Whatever the situation, one may speak out. One must speak out, no matter how, and ask God to bring him from darkness to light and help him attain true repentance. One must not stop until he is answered, even if he calls out to God for a long time, yet still finds himself very, very far from him. He should remain strong and firm in his prayers. If he does so, he can be certain that God will ultimately answer him and draw him close so that he will be able to serve God in truth. This is an absolute certainty, without any doubt whatsoever. The sages therefore teach, prayer requires strengthening, as it is written, "Pray to God. Be strong and brave and pray to God." Tehillim, Psalms chapters 27, verse 14. Brachot, in the Talmud, 32b. Rashi explains that this means that if one's prayers is not accepted, he must pray again. He must continue doing so until God looks down and sees. It is thus written, Israel, hope in God, now and forever. Psalms 131, verse 3. Although we have discussed this many times, we must repeat it again and again each day. The many things that can weaken and confuse a person are beyond description. Therefore, we must repeat 1,000 times how we must remain steadfast and pray to God constantly, begging him to bring us close to him no matter what. Let us lift our hearts with our hands to God in heaven. Lamentations chapter 3, verse 41. God will not forsake his people, nor forsake his heritage. Psalms 94, verse 14. God's mercies have not come to an end, for his compassion is never ending. Lamentations chapter 3, verse 22. All right. And that was meditation, midnight prayer. All right. Rabbi Nachman's Outpouring of the Soul. Laila Tov.